declining number of black men enrolling in college. In the spring, I reported on the declining number of black men enrolling in college, particularly at historically black colleges and universities. Administrators called the trend concerning and in response initiated research and student support programs to understand what's driving the decline and how to increase the numbers. In this update, supported by the Education Writers Association, I went back to Morgan State University to check on the progress there and visited North Carolina A&T to get a look at how their Aggie men's program is garnering success. That's what we do. Since the start of the year, Morgan State University faculty and researchers at the school have been busy laying out a framework to study the decline of black male enrollment. The enrollment story at Morgan State University is twofold. The 2024 academic year welcomed more than 10,500 students. It was a record, and they did it again. 2025 smashed last year's record with nearly 11,500 students. But the school also noted a concerning decline in the enrollment of black men. In the fall of 2024, black men represented 37% of the student body. 2025 was better, the school noting a 9% increase in the number of black male undergraduate students and a 24% increase among graduate students. But the numbers aren't ideal. Morgan State University President Dr. David Wilson formed a task force to investigate and offer solutions to address the decline in black male enrollment. Dr. Michael Sinclair and Dr. Mark Barnes are on that committee.
We really are taking a look at it in three distinctly different lenses. First is the admissions and the recruitment. Are we recruiting, are we targeting black men to come to Morgan State University? Second, quite naturally, is how are we supporting them once they get on campus? You know, what sort of activities can we do as an institution to support black male development here at Morgan? Third is graduation, making sure that they succeed and helping them reach their goals and actually walk out that door.
We also are taking into account, when do we engage, right? So it's not only how do you engage, but also when. The other 3 points of focus are looking at sort of teaching, also research, and also service.
Experts tell WUSA 9 the decline of black male enrollment begins in early education, where young students are met with few black male teachers and may attend schools or live in areas where there are lower expectations for success. Dr. Calvin Hadley is Assistant Provost for Academic Partnerships and Student Engagement.
And if we can't solve the mechanism to get the black male back enfranchised, and I say back enfranchised, the reality is the black male has never been centered in the educational system. The educational system in America is a mechanism of stratification. If we are going to place the black male in an opportunity so that he can be in a place of advancement in the educational system, we're going to have to approach that systematically.
Addressing the decline is multifaceted. Data shows the decline of black men on campus leads to reduced economic mobility, strained college budgets, a negative impact on family formation, and generational wealth. Dr. Malcolm Drury is an associate professor of sociology and anthropology at Morgan.
Because this is where the grounds for meeting different people within your same, heading in the same direction as you are. When you have a group that's not there, black men, it kind of stifles those type of relationships that begin on a college campus. When we don't see these black men on campus, where does that lead? Where does that lead as far as future relationships, economics?
If black men are not in black families, it weakens black families. And if black families are weak, then it weakens black communities. So it really does have a domino effect on the black community.
Morgan relies on programs like SMOOTH, which stands for Strong Men Overcoming Obstacles Through Hard Work, to support their male students. Members of SMOOTH receive mentorship and can fellowship with one another on campus. This program and others like it are a way in which administrators are hopeful black men feel a greater sense of connection and community.
That's enough. All right, Shalom. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham Ruach. I want to give double honors to my apostles and elders that came before me that brought me into this truth. This video is going to be called Education System Failing in America. particularly for the so-called black men here in the United States of America. And not so much that it's just completely failing, even though it has, but it's understood now that it's a scam, right? Even so-called black women, even so-called white women, and so-called, well, and sometimes in some few situations I've seen so-called white men say that it's a scam. And the scam is based off of the tremendous amount of debt that you accrue whenever you are in and out of the college system, right? After you finish paying for school, there's no guarantee for a job. If you do get a job, there's no guarantee that you're going to be able to keep that job, or you'll be able to obtain a job in your field, whatever college major you go for. There's no confirmation that you're going to stay in that field, right? You have some people that are business majors that end up going into the educational system and work as teachers or professors, right? So who knows? Who knows? You might go to school for business and you might never run a business, right? You might stay in some entry-level position for the rest of your life. Whatever the case may be, let's go to another video here. As you can clearly see, there's a sharp decline in so-called black male enrollment in HBCUs, and they're trying different tactics and whatnot to try to not only garner the attention of so-called black males, but also maintain so-called black male entry or enrollment in these colleges, what is a complete waste of time depending on your major. What do we got here? Oh yeah, let me refresh this page here.
Earning a degree used to lead to a steady job with a good salary. But today, young graduates in the West are finding fewer employment opportunities. So, is it still worth going to university? The unemployment rate of young graduates in America is now approaching the same rate for the age group as a whole. In 2010, there was around a 6 percentage point difference in unemployment between young people and young graduates. But now, there's just a 1 percentage point difference between them. It's not just in America. In the European Union, the unemployment rate of young people with tertiary education is now approaching the overall rate for that age group. One theory for this is that universities are accepting less talented applicants, and then they aren't teaching them very well. This could lead to employers not expecting much of a difference between the average graduate and then someone who didn't go to university. Another theory is that fewer jobs need graduate-level qualifications. For example, in the past, you often needed to attend a university in order to understand how to use a computer.
On the frontiers of science, the strange world of the computer.
But today, almost everyone can use tech, regardless of whether or not they went to university. The number of jobs in graduate-friendly industries is also decreasing. Across the EU, the number of 15 to 24-year-olds who were employed in finance and insurance fell by 16% from 2009 to 2024. And since 2016, the number of British 20-somethings in law and finance has fallen by 10%. It's tempting to blame AI for these waning opportunities. Yet, the decline in graduate jobs started long before ChatGPT. What's more likely is that the industries that traditionally employed graduates have had a tough time lately. Since the global financial crisis of 2007 to 2009, the golden age of investment banking is over, so they're spending less money on hiring graduates. In America, all this is affecting young people's decision on whether or not to attend college. The number of Americans enrolled in bachelor's programs fell by 5% from 2013 to 2022, according to data from the OECD. Yet, in most rich countries, where education is cheaper because the state plays a larger role, young people are still applying to universities in droves. Excluding America, enrollment across the OECD rose from 28 million to 31 million in the decade 2022. Perhaps students simply aren't picking the right subjects. Arts, humanities, and social sciences are still proving popular, even, inexplicably, journalism. If these trends say anything about young people's ideas about the future of work, they truly are in trouble. So, in the age of AI, what should you study at university? As technology improves, the future of work is changing too. Many of the jobs that graduates will have don't even exist yet. Some young people worry that certain skills they learn might become outdated as technology changes. Coding, for example, is at risk of becoming obsolete within only a few years. According to one study, the percentage of American and British IT professionals who worry that AI tools will make many of their day-to-day skills obsolete increased from 74% to 91% in just 1 year. There are some subjects which are likely to stay relevant. Robotics, for example, will help people maximize the benefits of technological change. And practical jobs, like plumbing and carpentry, are less likely to be taken over by AI and will remain valued by society. These professions often don't require a university qualification and can be learnt in other ways, like on apprenticeships. But arguably, what's more important for students than studying a specific subject is to focus on learning soft skills instead. Things like communication, critical thinking, and reliability, as well as empathy and being able to build relationships. All are transferable across multiple industries. OECD findings from 2019 demonstrate that people will need to rely on their currently unique human skills to succeed. Understanding how to learn will be key to developing new skills and adapting in changing times. The research also suggests that jobs with complex social interactions, such as care, will still need humans, so developing skills like negotiation and persuasion will be vital. Currently, AI isn't very good at these soft skills.
I understand emotions have a deep meaning, but I can't experience them like you can.
So, if workers can plug the gaps while also being able to transition into emerging industries, then it will help humans to compete with machines. Nearly all degrees will allow you to gain these skills through group projects, presentations, and extracurricular activities. Ultimately, it doesn't really matter which degree you choose to study. Perhaps what's even more important is that a student gains work experience or an internship. Research finds that those who graduated in 2022 and completed internships were 23% more likely to start a full-time position within 6 months of graduation. This gap increases further in certain fields, like oil, gas, and mining, where it rose to 65%. Although it's hard to predict how improving technology will change the world of work over the coming decades, one thing is for sure: a student with a variety of skills, a lifelong desire to learn, and a good attitude will go far.
All right, that's enough. All right, and I do want to say fair use, okay? This is only being used for educational purposes only. Just keep in mind, okay? When it comes to technology, one thing is true, another thing's for certain. It is constantly evolving, okay? Always new innovations that are occurring every single day. And those innovations don't really do anything but leave some people behind, a decent amount of people behind. Whatever the case may be, it's not only leaving the consumer behind, it's also leaving the I guess you'd say the technician behind, as they mentioned, coders are becoming obsolete in this situation in which you can basically use an LLM to create something based off a prompt that you provided. Okay, whatever the case may be, we're gonna go into we're gonna have a conversation with ChatGPT a little bit later, but prior to doing that, we're going to go into a few verses here. I pulled up Proverbs 4 and 6 in the NLT. Don't turn your back on wisdom, for she will protect you. Love her, and she will guard you. Getting wisdom is the wisest thing you can do. And whatever else you do, develop good judgment. So, in this time, in which you see that these jobs are basically being rooted out, cast out, and they're not coming back, it's important to understand that you may have to diversify your skill set, right? And in these last days, it's not going to be as easy to, find gainful employment as it has been in the last few years, right? Nonetheless, the most important and imperative thing is that we keep the commandments of the Heavenly Father and keep the faith in Yahushua. That's as far as that goes. Isaiah 33. Okay, I want to get that in the KJV. Isaiah 33 and 6. And 6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of Yahweh is his treasure. You see that one? So, the wisdom and the Slakia. The knowledge and the wisdom is going to be the stability of our times in these last days. So it's important to hold on to those things. You know, your college degree is not going to get you into the kingdom of heaven, right? Your employee of the month award or employee of the week, whatever it might be, your little recognition from the president of your corporation, that's not going to get you into the kingdom of heaven, right? The Heavenly Father deeming you as worthy, that's going to get you into the kingdom of heaven. That's what's going to aid you in benefiting whenever Yahushua makes his great triumphant return. This is Psalms 128 and verse 2. For thou shalt eat the labor of thine hands, happy shalt thou be, and it shall be well with thee. You see that one? So what's the labor of your hands? The things that you put your work in, Salakia, the work that you put in, right? Right. So the work that you put in is going to bear fruit. That's going to be your substance, right, or your sustenance as you try to move throughout this world. Now, of course, there are certain fields, like the gentleman mentioned, like plumbing, HVAC, electrician, the oil field. These different things can't be taken over by these robots or AI, whatever it might be. It's not as simple as just doing an office job, just clicking away on a keyboard and then clicking here and clicking there. No, it's not that easy. Like you mentioned as well, the nursing field, hands-on care with the different people, different patients and whatnot. Those things aren't going to go away. So it's important that you understand that you put in work with your hands, right? Not to say that you jump out of your field that you're in right now, but if you see the writing on the wall, it's time for you to start, plotting your escape plan or your backup plan, right? In case this comes crashing down. And ultimately, this is going to come crashing down. It's just a matter of when. All right, and that's just a fact. That's just a fact of the matter. There's no getting around that. All right. This is Sirach 7 and 15. Yep. Hate not laborious work, neither husbandry, which the Most High hath ordained. You see that one? So again, going into laborious work, the field that I was in prior to the field that I'm in now, laborious work, man. Laborious work. No joke. All right. Constantly putting in work, man. Constantly moving. Constantly. Hey, I'm not gonna go into it right now, okay? But you talk about some hard work. All right, it's no joke. All right, no joke. Mentally straining, frustrating, feeling like a literal. You talk about slavery, man. Literal slavery. All right. Oh man. Anyway, again, let's read that again. Hate not laborious work, neither husbandry, which the Most High hath ordained. So it's imperative that you understand things like, working with your hands in general. That's something that you have to do as a man, right? And if you're not doing that, right? If you're not doing that, and let's say you just use your brain more, right? That's okay. But you have to understand that you can't, that you can't let, a comfortable job make you weak, or a comfortable job make you comfortable, right? You cannot allow that to happen, man. And even with these office jobs, they can be stressful as well. But nonetheless, again, you can't allow that to make you comfortable. There's so many people that work at these office jobs or work at a desk constantly that are hella overweight. Because in corporate America, there's a gigantic theme of constantly doing potlucks, a ongoing theme of, let's go out and buy food. It's Friday, let's get some food. You going to lunch with me? You know, let's go and get some lunch. You see that constantly in corporate America. Very annoying. Very annoying seeing that nonsense. My entire career, I've seen that nonsense, man. And it makes me look and think to myself, like, wow, you just can't go without lunch one day, huh? You telling me that you can't not eat? Like, goddamn, what the hell is wrong with you? Freaking gluttons, man, in this society. Okay? Anyway, again, hate not laborious work, neither husbandry, which the Most High hath ordained. The Heavenly Father hath ordained husbandry, all right? Laborious work, all right? So it's imperative that you don't hate those things and that you understand that it's important as a man to be able to get down and, you know, put those hands to work, man. You know, it is what it is. All right? Whether it be construction, again, plumbing, HVAC, all those different things, all these different fields, all right? Carpentry, these different things, man, that are really going to put some, you know, put a chip on your shoulder, man. Now, of course, even with that, you know, the brothers that are in those fields, Lord willing, you're not, you know, what is it called? A freelancer? Because it may be more difficult for you to find work, right? Because why is that? Because everybody's broke. Nobody can afford to fix their plumbing in their location, you know, in their home. So, you know, why pay for it? Why pay you? You know, again, hopefully that's not the case for you, whomever you are. Right, and hopefully the Lord blesses you with an abundant amount of work so you can continue to feed your family as well as yourself, and the Lord keeps you in that day. Whatever the case may be, everybody's going to be feeling it in these last days, man. All right? And that's why school is probably not the best idea if you're going into the work field, or if you're maturing, right? All right, you're graduating. College might not be the best idea, or might not be the best option, because again, you're going to be spending 2 to 4 years of time to come out with a thick, gigantic bill, unless you just pay it all off while you're going to school. And turn around, you have no guarantee at a job. Who knows? Your job might be obsolete by the time you get out of work. All right, there are people that are probably graduating this year that got computer science degrees that are completely effed, completely shot in the foot. Why is that? Because they unfortunately for them, they didn't know that AI was going to more than likely take your entry-level position that you thought you were going to get. All right? But that's okay. That's okay. Like I said, this thing is going to occur one way or another, and the hard times must come. This is Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 12 in the GNT. Money lenders oppress my people. What? Money lenders oppress my people, and their creditors cheat them. My people, your leaders are misleading you so that you do not know which way to turn. Just a few months ago, before this whole fiasco when it came to the student loans and the horrible job market, you had so-called black women running their freaking mouths all day all over the damn internet talking about, black men, why are you falling behind? Why aren't you going to school? Why aren't you getting your education? Why don't you have a bachelor's degree? I'm working on my master's degree. All this nonsense, man, talking shit. And guess what? Just a couple weeks, a month later, now boom, people are getting cut from their jobs. Now boom, you have to pay back those student loans. Now boom, no more games being played with you. All right? So I guess that, you know, because somebody that didn't go to college, I mean, you know, that no debt sounds pretty good right now, huh? No debt and not having to worry about your credit getting shot up 400 billion times. That sounds pretty good right now. All right? So then if you need to, you can actually rent a home. Or if you don't have that great of a down payment, you can actually or you don't have to worry about not being able to get into a home because your credit is so shot. All these different things, man, behind that damn school system, right? And there's nothing wrong with going to college if you know exactly what you're going for and you know that it's going to be a payoff in the long run. But there's nothing, like the brother Kanye West said, nothing ever promised tomorrow today, right? Okay? Nothing's ever promised tomorrow today. So don't play any games, man. Don't play any games with it. Like so many people, like I heard Dr. Boyce Watkins say, you know, that it's probably not a good idea to get an underwater basket weaving degree. You know, it's probably not the most ideal degree to grab, man. Very silly. Anyway, let's go here. Pew Research Center. 5 facts about student loans. 1 in 4 U.S. adults under 40 have student loan debt. Wow, look at that. And this share drops to 14% among those ages 40 to 49, and to just 4% among those 50 and older. All right. So, of course, the younger you are, the more student debt you're going to be carrying. What do we got here? Number 2, the amount of student loan debt that Americans owe varies widely by their education level. Overall, the median borrower with outstanding student debt owed between $20,000 and $24,999 in 2023. Wow, okay. Among borrowers who attended some college but don't have a bachelor's degree, the median owed was between $10,000 and $14,999 in 2023. The typical bachelor's degree holder who borrowed owed between $20,000 and $24,999. Among borrowers with a postgraduate degree, the median owed was between $40,000 and $49,999. Look at that. So, between, what is that? 10 and 50 racks, you're going to be looking at, on average, whenever you take out a student loan. Let's look here. Young college graduates with student loans are more likely than those without this kind of debt to say they struggle financially. Look at that. So let's read that one more time. I think that was pretty important to read. Young college graduates with student loans are more likely than those without this kind of debt to say they struggle financially. So who knows if it goes into overspending because you think that you have this great magnificent degree, so now you can just buy whatever you want to, and you got a new job, so you're gonna buy that gigantic truck, right? Or that car, whatever the hell it is. You might lease that car and add on to your expenses, and who knows, you might have a child or two. Let's read this though. For many young adults, student loans are a way to make an otherwise unobtainable education a reality. Although these students have to borrow money to attend college, the investment might make sense if it leads to higher earnings later in life. College graduates ages 25 to 39 who have student loan debt have higher household incomes than non-college graduates in the same age group, regardless of student loan status, but their household incomes are lower than those of young college graduates who don't have student loan debt. Well, of course. Around half of young college graduates with student loans have household incomes of at least $100,000. That compares with just 14% of non-college graduates, but among college graduates without student loan debt, 64% of household incomes of $100,000 or more. Look at that. So let's continue here. Let's go here. Number 5, young college graduates with student loan debt are more likely than those without debt to say their education wasn't worth the cost. I wonder why. Probably because you spent $500,000 on a freaking that underwater basket weaving. Just so silly. All right. Anyway, about a third, or 35% of those ages 35 to 39 who have at least a bachelor's degree and outstanding student loan debt say the benefits of their degree weren't worth the lifetime financial cost. By comparison, 16% of young college graduates without outstanding student loans say the same, right? So, of course, they are saying that they regret it because, why? Well, because they have to pay it. and it's not they're basically not earning any kind of special benefit, because more than likely they're probably in some sort of an entry-level position job that they could have gotten, without their student loan debt, right, or without a college degree, right? Nonetheless, there was one other thing. Oh yeah, that's what it was. Let me pull this up here. Chat GPT. All right. How? I'm trying to think. What is the rate of black men entering VOTEC vocational schooling compared to college enrollment? Let's see what it says here. Again, what is the rate of black men entering vocational schooling compared to college enrollment? I couldn't find a clean, recent comparison that shows exactly the rate of black men entering vocational schooling versus entering college, but I found related data and gaps. Okay, so what do we have here? All right, college enrollment among black or African American high school graduates. According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, the one-year college enrollment rate for recent black high school graduates aged 16 to 24 is about 59.2% in October 2024. The same report shows that the recent high school graduates overall, the college enrollment rate is 62.8% in October 2024. All right, okay. So, dang, okay. So it just seems like a sharp decline. That's interesting. Well, not really a sharp decline, but it's only about 3%. Vocational program participation. The BLS report in 2022 lists vocational program under college enrollment and work activity of high school graduates. It shows counts and percentages of recent graduates enrolled in vocational program versus academic program, but it does not specify. But it does not break out that vocational program enrollment by race or black males specifically in all cases. All right, that's fine. Okay, I'm trying to see what we got here. Is there a rise in black men attending vocational school? Restaurant data. There is evidence that vocational trade certificate program enrollment is increasing overall in the U.S. A report by National Student Clearinghouse shows that certificate undergraduate certificate program enrollment increased, especially in via community colleges. For public 2-year schools with high vocational focus, enrollment has increased substantially. For example, one source says high school vocational public 2 years had substantial growth in enrollment, up 11% by 91,000 in spring 2025 compared to spring 2024. Another data point, vocational focus schools showed a 13.6% increase in fall 2024 over the prior period. So overall, as we saw in these two videos here, you have a declining rate of so-called black men in these HBCUs. You have a uptick of men in general, but so-called black men in these vocational schools, right, or VOTEC. Right now, I've attended VOTEC, and VOTEC is it's on point, and it's a magnificent alternative, right? But that's neither here nor there. All right, let me go to Isaiah 43. Isaiah 43. I believe it's right here. Okay, beautiful. Beautiful. This is Isaiah 43 and verse 24. Thou hast bought me no sweet cane with money, neither hast thou filled me with the fat of thy sacrifices, but thou hast made me to serve with thy sins. Thou hast wearied me with thine iniquities. I, even I, am he that blotteth out thy transgressions for mine own sake, and will not remember thy sins. Put me in remembrance, let us plead together. Declare thou that thou mayest be justified. Thy father hath sinned, and thy teachers have transgressed against me. Therefore I have profaned the princes of the sanctuary, and have given Jacob to the curse, and Israel to reproaches. And yes, indeed, we're going to be dealing with many numerous approaches in these last days as time is winding down on this wicked society. The educational system is perishing. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Kwakadash. Again, double honors to my apostles and elders that came before me, that brought me into this truth. Shalom to the hopeful elect out there putting in this work. Until next time, Shalom.